presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Force. We are MC.
Splash slam! Turn the lights out, kids. It's time to go to bed. Gone again for Alex Gordon. Two-run home run, Salvador Perez. Fourth career two-home run game for Alex.
And that's 5 starts in a row where he's been completely in control. He's just been throwing the ball extremely well.
Royals baseball on a beautiful day at Kauffman Stadium. A victory today. The Royals sweep a 4-game series against Minnesota, and they win their 8th game in a row. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joe Goldberg is coming up in a few segments. And kudos to our associate producer, Sam Abramson, for reminding us of some of the great moments in this series with Minnesota.
We have a great team in the truck, but there's an even better team out here at the K. The fans are geeked. It's only a 4-game series. That's too bad, but it's been fun. We're seeing the Royals team clicking on all cylinders.
Good pitching matchup today. The Royals' best against the Twins' best.
That's right. Now, these two guys, they are aces on their staff for sure. Now, you look at Ervin Santana's record. It's not the best record, but the ERA, that's doable right there, for especially that 1.84 in the last 10 games. Duffy, we all know. And believe me, the Minnesota Twins know. If both of these guys are on top of their game, could be low scoring.
And when we come back, we'll talk more specifically about Danny Duffy and what has become Duffy Day in KC. Three games in this series, they've scored 5 runs, and now they have to deal with Danny Duffy. And Danny's the subject of our Toyota League leaders. Here are his best rankings in the American League. The ones that stand out for me, Hud, would be, could you ever imagine Danny Duffy being among the league leaders in best strikeout to walk ratio, and at the bottom there, among the league leaders in the fewest pitches per inning.
No way. And I'm telling you, I bet Ned says the same thing. But what Duffy's doing now is a piece of work. It is beautiful work. He's upsetting the timing of the hitters. He's throwing 3 pitches out of that stretch that's just throwing the timing off. When you got those 3 above average pitches and you're messing up the timing with your stretch delivery, you're going to have a lot of success, especially with that fastball. He's been brilliant.
So the Twins have scored 5 runs so far in this series. The Royals have scored 23. Let's talk about the bats when we come back.
Offense. And when they turn it up, that frenzy style hitting comes out. Now, sure, they're hitting the doubles and the singles, but the power's starting to show up. It's been great to see, especially out of number 4, Alex Gordon. Man, it's hard to stay in your seat. He's bringing them out with the grand slams, the home runs in consecutive games. It's been fun to watch.
Is he lava hot yet, though?
Not quite. There's a lot of guys that would love to be firecracker hot right where he is right now. Ryan, for sure. A lot of guys. But look, unless you're hitting 450, you got to be at 450 to get to lava hot, like Morales was earlier this year. But Gordon, if he keeps it up, taking those walks, the base hits up the middle, the home runs will follow. That's exactly what he's doing right now. We're witnessing it, and he's propelling his ball club and firing them up.
And that's our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Can Alex Gordon and the offense keep it up against Irvin Santana, a one-time Royal? Joel will tackle that after this.
To cruise over to the K. Classic car show here, as it is once every season. A lot of beautiful vehicles out in the parking lot and down here by the Royals dugout. Joel Goldberg and the Royals, they have certainly been cruising lately, thanks in part to good pitching. This month, there have been some great pitchers, and we'll have seen 3 of them here in this series. Yesterday, Ian Kennedy. Today, Danny Duffy. Add to that list Ervin Santana, the former Royal, is also on a roll. Our Kia in a driver's seat takes a look at Irv over his last 10 games. How about this? 5-2 with a 1.84 ERA. Opponents not hitting much against him. The challenge for Santana, he has been getting no run support, and you have to figure that'll be the same today, or at least a good chance it will, as the Twins get set to face Danny Duffy. It is the series finale, and the world champs looking for a 4-game sweep. First pitch is coming up next.
Brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. The classic car cruise to the K. That's what's going on the parking lot, and some of those cars got a chance to drive around the warning track.
Beautiful. Nice. They're all fired up. They were revving their engines when they were coming around the K, and so are the Royals offense.
Another beautiful day. Hardly a cloud in sight. A little breeze blowing in from left field. And here's Danny Duffy. Second in the league in ERA. He is the second Royals pitcher ever to win 10 of his first 11 decisions of a season. He and Brett Saberhagen. Saberhagen did it back in 1987.
27 walks for Danny Duffy. That's all. Very impressive how he's filling up that strike zone.
Only one left-hand bat in there against Danny Duffy. That's Eddie Rosario. Joe Mauer, Max Kepler will begin the game on the bench. And Duffy's first pitch is a little bit outside for ball 1. Dozier's streak of a home run in 6 straight games against the Royals came to an end last night. He and Ken Griffey Jr. are the only 2 to accomplish that.
Tester right away.
And Eske fighting it until the last inch. So we know where the sun is today.
Yeah. And obviously it's going to make it tough, especially for those guys on the left side of the infield. Right away, that was a sky ball. And when Duffy is on, he's like Kennedy. He's a fly ball pitcher. And Eske really had to focus using his glove and his sunglasses to pull that first out down. Royals defense sponsored by Ford. The Royals outfielders last 56 games. Wow, nothing but flawless defense. They can hit the ball too.
And right on cue, Dyson makes the play. We found out right before the game, just a few moments ago, that Dyson was starting in center field and leading off. Paulo Orlando was in the original lineup, so we don't know if that was a typo or that something is wrong with Paulo and he had to be scratched.
Yep. Sometimes they don't let us know. Duffy, he'll take those early countouts any day. Just maybe ensures the possibility that he could go all the way if his pitch count stays down.
Miguel Sano bats third. He's the designated hitter. He is 0 for 8 in the series with a walk. Duffy goes with a slide step and the count is 2-0.
And that's one of the key reasons why Duffy has been so dominant is he starts from that slide step position. He throws 3 pitches out of that spot. And with nobody on base, sometimes he doesn't come to a stop. He'll quick pitch. Another pop-up.
6 pitches to get Dozier, Grossman, and Sano. So Danny Duffy, it's just 1 inning, but he's on his way. Clerical error. Gerard Dyson was scheduled to lead off and play center field, but Paulo Orlando's name had been written in the lineup. Royals in this series have outscored Minnesota 23-5 after getting 10 runs last night. Drew Butera back of the plate. Raul Mondesi is back at second base. Ervin Santana. He has pitched 5 consecutive quality starts coming into today, and he's outside. Ball 1 to Dyson.
He's their best starter, most consistent. 3-pitch mix. Heavy on the fastball slider. Occasional change-ups to lefties. Stays away from the lefties for the most part. Came right down the middle there.
Dyson is 1 out of 5 in this series. He drove in 2 runs in the game on Friday. the game on Friday/Saturday.
That's right. Irvin, good tempo. Veteran. But his last 6 starts, he's had some issues. He's 0-4 with a 5 ERA. He's given up 6 home runs over those last 6.
Dyson's faced Santana 7 times and has reached base 3 of those 7 plate appearances. Didn't quite get it, and Santana backs up to make the play in right field.
Minnesota Twins, hate to see him go, but Trevor Plouffe is getting an opportunity to show what he can do over there at first base. 530 career starts at third and then just 20 at first. Has a few issues over there at times. The natural tendency for a guy who's plays at third is to go after ground balls to his right that are the second baseman's ball. Really, the main thing is just find yourself in a comfortable position you can get to the bag on contact on grounders. And the pick, of course, the dig. The dig's hard. He missed one last night. It's very difficult to try to catch that ball out of the dirt and keep your foot on the bag.
Half swing by Cuthbert, and down in the count 0-2. Chesler has 6 hits in this series and 4 runs scored. Santana gets him on 3 straight pitches, finishing him off with his trademark pitch, his slider. So it's Lorenzo Cain with 2 down, nobody on. And Lorenzo is our most trusted player, brought to you by Honda. Now that would be a lava hot hitting streak.
I would
it not?
I agree with you.
519.
Yep, anything up there 450 above, you're as hot as you can get.
No balls, 1 strike. Our director Steve Kurtenbach thought of another potential level. How about solar hot? We'll think about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do some research.
Santana has an 11 pitch. 1-2-3 bottom of the first. Danny Duffy needed 6 pitches to get through the first. Irvin Santana 11 to get through the bottom of the first. Trevor Plouffe leads off the second inning. And Danny's in there with strike 1. Plouffe, 251 overall, 152 against the Royals this year, and that's in 33 at-bats. To the gap, and that is going to be down. Trevor Plouffe has a leadoff double, just his 6th hit of the year against the Royals.
Double. Fastball down. Right at the knees. Good easy swing. Corners in, expecting a bunt. It's possible. Tough with Duffy throwing hard fastballs in there. Anything else, change-ups, breaking balls, moving down, those are easier to put on the ground.
Down by his feet, and he did not make an attempt at it on an appeal to first base umpire Todd Tichenor. Jorge Polanco, 2 out of 11 in the series with 2 RBIs, and those were 2 big RBIs on Friday night, driving in the 2nd and 3rd runs for the Twins in the top of the 5th right before the rain arrived. Bunted foul, 1-1.
Preferably arms extended on the bunt. When you pull the back in and you have alligator arms and you're bunting back into your body like that, you're in trouble. And you could foul one off your face. So be careful. Watch how the bat's too close to his body right there. He needs to get those arms extended.
He just had a quick meeting with his third base coach, Gene Glenn. So maybe the Twins don't want him to be bunting here.
There he is. He's up in the box towards the pitcher, Danny Duffy. Let him swing. If you can make some contact there.
1-2.
Because, you know, he's hitting 300 off lefties this year. Kid's shown me that he can swing, and he puts the ball in play with some authority. I like him. I think he's got a nice future. And the Minnesota Twins are hopeful that this kid can step up and be a shortstop. They desperately need a guy at short. That'll work.
That'll get the job done, and it's going to be a tough play for Mondesi. And the ball didn't quite come out of his glove the way he wanted. So a spinner gets Plouffe to third, and Polanco has an infield hit.
And you can't bunt it any better than that. Absolutely nothing you could do. And Mondesi, this was do or die. If it comes out of that glove with a little highlight flip like that, he could have a chance to get him, but doubtful.
So Minnesota has runners at first and third and nobody out. Switch hitting Eduardo Escobar comes up. The Twins have 4 switch hitters in their lineup today.
And if you're Minnesota, you're Paul Molitor, you're keeping your fingers crossed here, saying, you know, we've got to find a way to get this run home. Nobody out, first and third, scuffling for runs. Royals outscoring Minnesota 23-5 in this series. They better find a way.
2-0. Royals have won 7 straight. And over longer stretches, 10 of 11 and 12 of their last 14. Minnesota has lost 8 of their last 11.
Gosh, dang it.
3-0. So 1 pitch away from loading the bases with nobody out. Eddie Rosario, the only left-hand batter in the lineup today, is on deck. Four-pitch walk. So a double, an infield single, and a walk.
Butera going out to talk to Danny Duffy. Drew last caught Duffy 2 starts ago, August 11th, a complete game, 7 hits, 1 run against the White Sox. Duffy has the ability to escape this jam. You can't drop the Houdini on him to get out of this one because he's way above Houdini. He's got stuff.
Rosario holds his own against lefties. I think that was a called strike, not a swing. And Rosario turns to talk about it with home plate umpire Bill Miller. Good numbers this year and in his career with the bases loaded. Plouffe is at third, Polanco's at second, Escobar is at first. 1-1.
I think Danny Duffy'd be all right with exchanging a run, give them a run for a double play ball, little lane ball here. Get 2 outs, give him 1. Ideally. Rosario runs well.
2-1. Rosario's had one of the best series of all the Twins hitters, 4 out of 10 with a double. Now the crowd gets behind Duffy on a 2-1 pitch, threw it by him. 2-2.
Rosario only has 1 prior at bat with Danny Duffy.
Stayed with the fastball and reached back for a little extra. 96. 1 away.
Back him into a corner. Duffy can be toughy. There's no doubt about that. And we talked about his stuff. You have that kind of stuff right there, you can work your way out of any jam. And this is the biggest jam a pitcher would face ever. No outs and bases loaded early in the game. Trying to get his pitches working. Just 21 pitches. Figuring out what's working. Heater is. He's got a breaking ball. Back leg to the righty when it's on. Change is good too. Suzuki, bases loaded. Lots of times that first pitch you're looking heater. And pull the string on him. Double play would be sweet. Duffy's rolled up 7 this year. And Suzuki has hit into 7. I don't think so.
Not deep. And Alex Gordon makes a sliding play. Suzuki hit it into no man's land. Alex coming in as hard as he could. Escobar going out as far as he could. And that almost dropped for a base hit.
You know, I thought it was deep enough to be caught by Alex without having to dive, but there you go. Quit thinking. Let the ball play. Gordon called him off, had a better angle than Eske. And you wonder why the Royals outfielders lead all of baseball with a +45 defensive run saved. It's because of plays like that.
And now he just has to get past Danny Santana. 0-1. Santana, one of the 4 switch hitters in the lineup today. And this is by far his weaker side. 99 points lower than the other side of the plate. And he's hitless in this series. Changeup for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Whew, man. Crowd gets behind him, you back him into a corner. Butera saw something. Look at the fans. What a nice 4-day homestand this has been, Ryan. There's been nothing but blue in the seats. Great crowds cheering their guys on.
It's by far the biggest of the 4 crowds.
Spring-like day.
On the ground, Cuthbert to second, and they got him. An ugly start, but a pretty finish.
Molitor pass out the indigestion pills. Duffy, Tuffy.
Home already at a Blue Valley North High School. Got the gold medal in mixed doubles in Rio.
Better believe Jack can hack. I've been watching this guy play, man. He's got skills, extreme skills. Gonna have a nice long career. Young guy, loves the Royals. Check out the heater. Look at the separation over the mound of the rubber. Slugger right off the sternum. Good pitch, Steve Reich.
I don't know if it's possible or not, but Slugger needs a bigger glove. You can't handle that
Right,
pitch.
really. Of course, it was slow motion. Now, he didn't exactly throw it like he hits a tennis ball, but there was some velo on that pitch.
Hard slider. That's Santana's trademark pitch, and he has 1 strikeout with that pitch already today.
And the reason he sells that pitch so well is he has great arm speed. Arm speed is the same with his fastball, changeup, and slider. And that slider, it's one that dips down quickly.
Line to left, Grossman plays it on the bounce.
Talking in our open before the game today about how fans love watching frenzy hitting. But I forgot about that defense. Defense wins games for you, obviously. We talked about the run saved by the outfield. That was great concentration by Gordon. And now Cuthbert had to reach far to his left, get his balance, and they helped him get out of that inning. Incredible job by the defense. Never gets old watching it.
And how often do you see it happen? One team lets a great scoring opportunity slip away in 1 half inning, and then the other team scores in the next half inning. We'll see.
Let's hope that's the case. Paul Molitor, we saw after that great play by Cuthbert to end that inning. Poor Molly, one of my heroes all time. He just took 4 steps down and went down into the tunnel. He knew how important that inning was. But you don't get many of those off an ace. Irvin's a little surprised he threw over there to first base, and Haas standing on the bag. He says, don't you want to get a lead?
2-1 on Morales. Santana, a one-time Royal, and had a good year for the Royals here in 2013. He's had some issues with Minnesota with run support, and that was his problem with the Royals here. He had a losing record, but he had a very good ERA. Good numbers across the board, but Royals had a tough time scoring runs for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah. 4th lowest run support average for Irvin. That's something that you don't worry about because you can't control it if you're a pitcher. Keeping that ball in on Morales, and wouldn't you know it, fouls it off another part of his lower half. He's had some issues this year. Foul him off. That's an inside pitch. That's the inside part of the knee on an inside pitch. That's just stay off of them now. Irvin and Kurt Suzuki will probably go back in there with another heater now. See if he'll leave it alone.
Especially with that last pitch, probably wasn't even a strike.
No, it wasn't.
Going to try and get him with a slider. And it stayed up. Santana is lucky that that was fouled back to the netting.
Sure was. He missed with that.
Something you had at breakfast?
Sorry about that. Excuse me.
That is a fair ball and down into the corner. Hosmer will be held at third. Morales has a double. So here you go, Minnesota, bases loaded, nobody out. They come up empty, and the Royals are back with runners at second and third and nobody out.
Love that swing by Morales. Sure, it's nice to see, but look at how he shortened it up and everything. He took his stride, head position, stays right on the ball. He's looking at it. It's like he's trying to go that way. But Irvin had to give him the pitch that he could do that. Up, out over the strike zone, went with it. Great stroke.
And now, all Santana has to do is get past Alex Gordon. Saved by Suzuki.
That's a very nice swing by Morales. He loads the hips, sets it down. Now he recognizes the pitch. Freeze it right there, guys. Okay, look at it. Look where he's looking. He's looking that way and watching that ball go out to left field. Good level swing, aiming it, looking that way the whole way.
1-1 on Alex. Take a look at our Kubota power stats for today, and power is the right word. Alex hit 2 last night. The Royals hit 3. The Royals hit 12 home runs the entire month of July, and now they're averaging a home run a game in August. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. This is one of the most productive months for Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon in his career, sorry Hud, in the month of August, he has his best batting average, most home runs, most runs driven in, and highest slugging percentage. So it's not completely out of nowhere that he's gotten hot this month.
Productive out here. Oops. Good pitch. He missed the pitch before that is the one he wanted. Didn't swing. Some pretty good depth to that slider. You can see he missed it by a couple inches. Can Ervin Santana escape this jam? He has stuff. Certainly can do it, but you don't want to miss the mistake. Alex did.
Slider down and away to Escobar. Esky's driven in 44 runs against the Twins in his career, most for him against any team.
He likes Ervin Santana, 9 for 27. All that you need to do here with less than 2 with a runner at third is put it in play. So middle infield.
1-1.
Folks, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. I guess it's today's game, but we'll show it to you.
Another slider, 2-1.
El Maneo is Ervin Santana's nickname. He got that when he was a young player in the Dominican, and that means shaker. When he walks, he has a little head bob. His head shakes. There you go.
Royals get a run. Escobar drives in Hosmer to make it 1-0. So 45 career RBIs for Escobar against Minnesota.
Okay, there you go. Esky just picked up Alex Gordon. That's what Alex wanted to do. It's hard. Puts it in play. Haas crosses. 61st run scored for Eric Hosmer, if you need to know. That leads the Royals.
23 hits for Drew Butera. More than half of those have been extra base hits. He went too far on that slider. 3 home runs, that's tied his career high, and 9 doubles ties his career high. He did that with Minnesota back in 2011. Fastball sinking down and in. No balls, 2 strikes. Drew played parts of 4 years with the Minnesota Twins, the last being 2013.
Players that play once a week are easy to pull for, especially Drew Butera. His work habits, what he does for the team, how he's working in between starts. With Pedro Gaffal, the catching instructors, they set out the machine out there in front of the pitcher's mound, and Pedro puts the baseballs in there, and Drew works on framing pitches, and then they'll work on throws to second base. And when he's not starting, he's out there in the bullpen helping bullpen catcher Cody Clark, and he keeps an eye on Salvador Perez. When Salvi makes the last out in an inning, he runs in from the bullpen and warms up the pitcher. He works. Guys like that will have a job. When you have work skills and work habits like that, you'll keep your job.
Oh man, he had a great swing. 2-2.
Good swing.
Full count. Mondesi is on deck.
Clean base hit to any of the outfielders might make it tough to score Morales. Runs extremely well for 6 screws in his ankle, does Kendrys Morales.
Probably the best guy in the big leagues.
I'm going to say with 100% without a doubt.
Rosario was shallow, and he's able to run it down. The wind is blowing in from left center field, so that helped hold that ball up. It's KU Day at Kauffman Stadium, and Joel will be with Bill Self when we come back.
And always good to catch up with Royals fan and KU basketball coach Bill Self. First chance we've had to see you out of the ballpark this year, but I know we see you popping up here from time to time.
I love popping up, especially in the very late season, which hopefully we're well on our way to doing that again.
Yeah, and they're playing great baseball again right now. And I had Frank Mason on the pregame show and just talking about athleticism and defense. That's something that he specializes in. Your teams do, and the Royals are like that.
Well, obviously, you know, got a lot of speed. I think 2 plays made in the second inning, if I'm not mistaken. This could be, you know, a 4 or 5 run inning. So it's always fun to watch these guys play, and you know, it's great to see this guy on the mound throwing like he's throwing right now.
All right, I'll add a little bit more Royals in a moment because I enjoy talking baseball with you, but let's talk about the Jayhawks and where you guys are at right now as you get ready for another season.
Well, you know, right now it's a pretty relaxed situation. All of our players will report back by this evening. We got 5 or 6 that are on their way back right now, and then we'll have a team meeting tomorrow, and then we'll get started on Tuesday. And you know, I think we got a chance. I love last year's team. And the fact of the matter, we got a big core of last year's team back. Of course, going to lose a couple of key guys, but I love our incoming freshmen too. So hopefully we'll have a good blend of youth and experience.
And Frank was saying on our pregame show that the expectations are the same every year. The faces just change.
Well, that's kind of been our motto for a while, and you know, we did lose a lot, losing Perry and Wayne, and of course Sheck and Brandon too, but you know, I don't think that really matters to the returning guys. They just expect whoever's playing the minutes to fill in nicely and get the job done.
How much fun is it to be able to take some of your guys out here to the ball game? It's obviously a beautiful day. Some are watching, some might have their eyes on Olympic basketball a little bit and watching both of them, but what's it like to bring them out to the K?
It's great. You know, so many, like Frank, I think this was the first time he's ever been to a baseball game, and you know, we take so many things for granted that you know, we've had opportunities to do depending on geographically where we grew up, and he's never had this opportunity, and I'm sure he's not the only one. So it's good for those guys to get a chance to see this. I know we used to come over here and eat once a year, and they let us out on the field and the guys would run the bases, and they, you know, like second, third graders out there having a good time, because you know, even though maybe people don't all see it the same way, but this is still America's pastime.
Well, we almost saw another spectacular defensive play there at third base from Chesler Cuthbert, so it's a double for Robbie Grossman. And we just saw right before that, as we were talking, the first pitch from Frank Mason, who said he was a little bit nervous, but that he was nervous the first day he stepped onto campus, and that went really well for him. The velocity was good. He bounced it. You know, you said you had a little advice for him.
Well, I predicted that he would hit the backstop. I just thought he'd do it in the air and not roll it up there like he did. But you know, Frank and Devontae are pretty good backmates together, and to think that one of them made a bad throw and the other one let it go by him without him trying, I thought that was pretty ridiculous on Devontae's part.
There you go. Call it a pass ball, perhaps. Coach, always good to catch up with you. Best of luck in the upcoming season, and enjoy the ballpark. We hope to see you out here a lot in October.
Hope so too. Thanks.
That is Bill Self, and he said that, you know, Frank Mason could have been out there on the mound doing some backflips and stuff like that. He's got that athleticism. I thought the velocity HUD was pretty good.
I love the velo. And you know what? But the guy who was catching it, I didn't get his name, wanted no part of that ball.
Yeah. Well, you got to know your strengths.
Exactly.
And pulling a pitch out of the dirt is not why he's in Lawrence. So hey, you know, you got to take care of your entire body.
No, I agree
when you're
with
a
you.
Division I athlete.
Yeah. How about Bill Self? 12 titles, 12 Big 12 titles. Only 9 home losses. Whew. And then maybe those the opposing players, when they play that video before the game starts, I see them watching, looking up there, and the minute they all look at that, it takes their focus away. They're done. Fun place to go. The energy in that house is incredible. Hair can stand up on the back of your neck even if you don't have any.
2-2 on Sano. And on KU Day, of course, it always makes us think about the man who called so many basketball games at Allen Fieldhouse, and our former colleague Bob Davis, who retired from the Royals a few years back and retired as voice of the Jayhawks.
Won't be
this
the same.
year.
Definitely will not.
And we're thrilled for Brian Haney, who is now the radio voice of the Jayhawks, who was an intern at our former flagship radio station when I first came to town.
Huh.
Yep. So
I wondered who they were going to choose.
happy for him. Over the outside. And Sano, who had issues with the strike zone last night, has a word or two with Bill Miller and then hits the road. And that's Danny Duffy's second strikeout.
No doubt. Painting the corners. Sano, you got to go.
And the more Danny Duffy pitches like he's pitching, he's going to get more calls like that.
You better believe it. There's a lot of truth to that. So as a hitter, oh, you can tell yourself, good breaking ball. That's where he wants to finish that pitch, right down there. If you're a hitter with 2 strikes on you and you're facing a guy like Duffy with his reputation and he's one of the more dominant pitchers in baseball, you better be hacking if you don't want to get called out looking. Fight it off. Shorten up that swing. You don't hack, they'll send you back.
1-1 on Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe doubled leading off last inning, and that set up Minnesota having the bases loaded with nobody out. But Duffy got out of it with a strikeout, and then great plays in left by Gordon and at third by Cuthbert. Now runner at second, 2 down, and Plouffe gets him again. Dyson got caught in between. A run scores, Plouffe to second, and the game is tied at 1. Looked like Dyson may have closed in that ball quicker than he thought he was going to, and that ball was hit. I thought it was down for sure, and Dyson had to make an emergency swipe.
Yeah, you know, he did. The ball had a little bit of hang time there. At least he's able to keep it in front of him, not to allow more bases for Plouffe for 2 outs. Tough play, sinking liner. At least he kept it in front of him.
Jorge Polanco back to Duffy on 1 hop. He'll run halfway, and that's the inning. Grossman doubles, then Plouffe doubles. The Royals and Twins are tied at 1. Evans and Dina, who is about to receive Marley from Slugger. is the Royals manager of media relations and alumni, and the daughter of former Royals player and manager John Wathen.
Beautiful family she has. And Duke, congratulations.
Older daughter Remy came by and visited the booth before the game.
Absolutely cute as a butt.
Mondesi, Dyson, and Cuthbert in the bottom of the third inning. Royals run came in the second inning on Escobar's ground out that scored Hosmer, and Minnesota just got their run in the third. Santana strikes out his third. T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball. All right, let's look at the wild card standings. The Royals are 4.5 out, tied with Houston, half game behind the Yankees, 1 game behind the Tigers, and then Seattle and Baltimore. Yankees have traded away or released veterans lately. Tigers are dealing with some significant injuries. They have some key guys on the disabled list out for a while. 1-1 on Dyson. So got 4 teams bunched up at 4.5 to 3.5 out. The Royals, the Astros, the Yankees, and the Tigers. And then after that, you're looking at the Mariners and the Orioles.
It's going to be a dogfight.
Strike to Dyson, and it's 1-2. Dyson flied out to right field in the first inning.
Winning baseball games is a premium at this level. Of course, at any professional level, that's what you're paid to do. But pitching is the currency. Starting pitching mainly. Bullpens almost as important. Holding leads late in games.
Still 2-2. Four strikeouts for Santana. That's the first one with his fastball. 2 down. Our next T-shirt Tuesday giveaway. The Yankees are in town August 30th. The first 10,000 fans receive a T-shirt featuring Eat, Sleep, Royals. Get your tickets at Royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday. After today, the Royals have 3 road trips and 3 homestands until the end of the regular season.
Can't believe it's just flown by.
Royals still have the Yankees, the Tigers, the A's, the White Sox, the Twins again, and the Indians coming to Kauffman Stadium. The last 3 games of the regular season for the Royals are here against Cleveland. What will those games mean? As Cuthbert lines to third, he is 0 for 2. And the Royals are down in order in the bottom of the third inning. Tied at 1 to the 4th inning. Danny Duffy will get Eduardo Escobar, Eddie Rosario, and Kurt Suzuki. Escobar walked on 4 straight pitches in the 2nd, and that loaded the bases with nobody out. And Duffy and the Royals defense got out of it. Backed him off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to have some help with that defense. Duffy has the ability to get out of jams like that himself, but he needed help then. 2 really fine plays behind him.
Escobar reaches out and pokes it into left center field. Second time the Twins have had their leadoff man on. All right, on this KU day, our sprint trivia question: who has the most career home runs by a player born in the state of Kansas? I feel like I've heard that question 100 times. Now I'm going to ask for one clarification.
Great.
Rosario, right center field. Kane slides, and he got it. Another great play by the Royals defense behind Duffy. Well, that's what you get when you have a Gold Glove caliber center fielder in right.
And on contact, that ball looked like it was going to split the gap easily. But Lorenzo Cain is able to change gears like he always does, and we rarely see him leave his feet because he doesn't need to. He's got such great long strides, but that's a cap tipper.
All right, here's my clarification question for the trivia. Was this player born and raised in Kansas, or was this a military base born in Kansas but grew up somewhere else? Born in Kansas, grew up somewhere else, but not military. Okay. Because that would take Johnny Damon off the list. Johnny Damon,
does he
born in Fort Riley but grew up in Florida?
Yeah. Does he reside in Topeka?
One and one on Kurt Suzuki. Bob Horner was born in Junction City, Kansas.
Good guess.
Incorrect.
He hit a ton of homers. Hey. Oh, that's Adam LaRoche,
who I believe was not born in Kansas. Easy
pocket ball.
Yep. There was no play there. Duffy tried to make something out of nothing. And instead of first and second and 1 out, it's first and third and 1 out. So it's a base hit and an error 1.
Yeah. After that tip right there, we've seen Danny make some plays like that this year, some tumbling plays over there in that area, but it's not going to happen there. He's a good athlete.
Adam LaRoche, I think, was born in California when his dad,
Dave,
was out either pitching in California, but grew up in Fort Scott.
Okay.
Andy, I believe, was born in Kansas. His younger brother, who also played in the big leagues.
All right.
All right, so Danny has to get out of first and third, 1 out, with Santana at the plate. No balls, 1 strike. Santana made the final out of the second, which began with the bases loaded, nobody out. Cuthbert made an excellent play, cutting off a ground ball to the hole on the left side and getting the force at second base. 0-2. Changeup down and away. Back with a changeup and a strikeout.
Beautiful job. Like I said, stuff will get you out of jams. Keeping it down, changing speeds, tricking them.
And now it's Brian Dozier, who has popped to short and grounded to short. He's hit 7 home runs against the Royals this year. The most home runs, by the way, by a Minnesota Twin against the Royals is 8. Michael Kadire back in 2009. One and one. Royals will see Minnesota Twins 6 more times after today. Another series in the Twin Cities in a couple of weeks. And then that final homestand of the regular season here is against Minnesota and then Cleveland. Escobar's at third, Suzuki's at first. Popped up. Mondesi out. Kane calls him off. Kane makes a diving play in the inning, a routine play, and in between a big strikeout as Duffy got Santana with a runner at third and 1 out. Olson's son, Jack, lost his battle with cancer in 2009. But wanting to continue Jack's own fundraising events while he was fighting cancer, they started the Jack and Coke bike ride to support the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life. Each May, over 300 riders enjoy a scenic bike ride through the Northland with great stops and a barbecue lunch after the ride, with all proceeds benefiting nonprofit organizations. Doug and Pam sitting in the what is today the Buck O'Neil Legacy seats at today's game.
Thank you for what you guys do. Hi, OJ.
Or DJ.
Irvin Santana's looking good. Slider, great depth. It's not a flat slider. Flat sliders stay in the zone, they get hit. It goes straight down. Throws it on the edge.
Line to left. Grossman came in And it sails over his head and up against the fence. He is a big league player for a reason. But if Robbie Grossman wants to put together a resume tape with his work in left field, he is not going to include many plays against the Royals this year.
Yeah, no, maybe and hopefully it's just been against the Royals. But he hit this good. You know, almost looked like that ball, it just stayed up. I mean, it had some helium under it. It stayed up over his glove. Now, certainly he came in on contact. One of the hardest balls for an outfielder is that ball directly hit over your head. Does it have topspin? Does it have backspin? He thought it had topspin, and he made the wrong read. Best way I can explain that.
Hosmer fouls it off his foot, and down he goes. Now Rusty Kuntz, and we've gone over this. Rusty Kuntz teaches outfielders to take an immediate drop step and then read it. Don't react right away. Don't think I have to go in or back right away, but put yourself in a position to do either and then take a second to read it and then make your decision.
I would agree with that. I just froze. I didn't take a step back. I just kind of froze for a second and then was able to make my judgment.
1-1 to Hosmer. He singled leading off the second inning and scored the Royals run on Escobar's ground out.
Hosmer has a couple of home runs in his career off of Santana. The way he's going to the opposite field looks good. I think Robbie Grossman better be heads up here because it's coming his way. If he can get that high fastball that Morales got, that Morales rifled down the left field line, he's going to take it out to left.
3-1 with Morales on deck.
I think that ball, I mean, his shin is still smarting from fouling that ball off of it, no doubt.
Inside, ball 4. 2 on, nobody out. That's Santana's first walk.
Fans, please don't miss the opportunity to attend Special Day at the K on Sunday, September 4th. $5 from every ticket purchase at Royals.com/special day benefits the special needs community here in Kansas City and beyond. In addition, each ticket includes the opportunity to receive a free Special Day at the K t-shirt. For more information, visit Royals.com/special day. Folks, that's a near and dear to our heart. Our team Up for Down Syndrome, Jennifer and I have. Our son Kate's 19 years old, and we've been spreading the good news about children that have Up syndrome and people that have disabilities. They might be different, but we celebrate those differences. So the Royals helped us by developing Special Day at the K to invite and have a little party out beyond the left field fence out there before the game. And it allows families to come and bring their kids with disabilities to come to these games and really enjoy the K and enjoy Royals baseball. So folks, go out there and get your tickets, please. Celebrate the special needs kids and their families.
Is Cade going to be there?
Absolutely.
Good. People need to meet Cade.
They do. You know, and all kids that have Up syndrome have life. They have energy. They have unconditional love that they give back to others. And we've been blessed for 19 years to have him. He's made a huge difference in our family. And he doesn't. They do in other families. Kids with disabilities bring a very special touch.
Outside,
3-1 on Morales. Santana's already given up a double and a walk. Morales gets on. Alex Gordon. Good spot. Morales thought it was ball 4. Morales with 2 strikes last time up, got a pitch up and away and drove it up the left field line for a double. And tried to go the other way again.
That's the right approach, especially against Ervin Santana and his great slider. If you're trying to pull that, you're going to swing over the top of it. So that to think bottom hand, stay inside that ball is the key. Nice seat, sir.
To Plouffe. Santana covering, and the Twins get a double play. 3-6-1. Kane goes to third.
Ervin helped himself there. Here's what he's thrown today. And that's overall basically what the percentages that he'll throw that fastball slider. Really doesn't need the changeup.
And with that slider, Santana struck out Alex in the second inning. Hit sharply to Plouffe, and that'll do it. So a good start. The Royals had 2 on and nobody out. The double play was big, and Santana has given up 1 run through 4 innings.
Kansas City as the Royals tied up with the Twins. How about the Indians in our premier Mazda game break? That would be the swing of Melvin Upton, who has gone deep with a home run. Number 19 on the season, and Toronto up 2-1 over Cleveland.
Thank you, Joel. Robbie Grossman leads off. The Tigers, who are in second place and 1 game ahead of the Royals, they lead Boston 10-1. That game is in the top of the 7th inning. Grossman doubled and scored Minnesota's run in the 3rd, and that ball's well hit to left. So Grossman is 2 out of 3. That's the 3rd time today Minnesota's had a leadoff man on. Pitch was in and just off the plate.
Grossman, much better hitter from the right side. As far as average goes, coming in 333. Left-handed, he's hitting just 221.
Outside to Sano. He is popped to first and struck out.
Overall, the Twins, they're hitting 258 off of lefties. That's good for 9th in the American League. 37 homers.
Changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Duffy been more effective with his changeup than his breaking ball so far.
And you know, like Irvin, Santana using just mainly fastball slider, Duffy, he's similar. He only needs 2 pitches. Whichever one's working, secondary pitch.
Back with a changeup again.
But if your fastball's not working, then you have some issues. Look at how he holds that ball in the back 3 fingers. Tries to keep the same arm speed. That's deceptive to the hitter.
A little in on a fastball. Sano is 0 for 2 today, 0 for 10 in the series. He had missed 3 games prior to this series with a sore elbow. On the ground to Escobar. Out at second. Double play.
There you go. Irvin, Santana got him one. Now Duffy's got him a nice double play here. First man, sure. Second man, quick with a strong arm. Get it over there. That's what Mike Jershey, the infield instructor, has told us. Spent a lot of time with Mondesi every day working him. Mondesi at times kind of gooses the throw a little bit over there. Doesn't throw 100%. Jershey's on him. Show the arm off. You have it, show it off every time. Want to see the same consistency. Get into bad habits that way. And by the way, last night when he went in for Escobar to play shortstop, Mondesi, it's the first time I've seen him play at shortstop. I've missed him in spring training. We don't televise many games. But he looked good. Free and easy. Nice arm action. You can tell he's got great range.
One and one on Plouffe. He has doubled twice against Duffy today and driven in the Minnesota run. There's a breaking ball for a strike. 1-2. Plouffe had a 174 batting average against Duffy before today. And that's well hit into the corner and just foul.
There's a young lady down there by that pole with her back turned to the field, and it just missed her. Oh man, she's lucky. There she is. That ball just pachinged right by her. I guess when you sit that far away from home plate, you don't have to face the ball.
We don't expect a line drive, that's
right.
for sure. Plouffe lays off the changeup. 2-2. Duffy's coming up on 70 pitches. He is right at where Santana is with pitch count, but he's pitched 1 more inning. Three balls, 2 strikes. If Plouffe gets on, Polanco is on deck.
Got to be looking fastball here if you're Plouffe. Oh,
Hosmer will take it himself.
messed him up. He was looking heater. Good pitch.
Duffy has allowed 1 run in 5 innings. Royals need a rally as they come up in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now, what are those really? Lizard masks?
That looks like a mantis head to me.
But I mean, those guys were wearing those masks a day or so after the first rally mantis appeared. I mean, you don't go to a costume store and say, "Can you give me your best mantis mask?"
How about grasshopper?
Okay, grasshopper. There you go.
That's a good Halloween mask. I need something. Of course, some people might argue I don't need anything. But that's a cool mask.
Escobar grounded out first time up, but that drove in the Royals run, getting Hosmer in from third. Royals have 3 hits and only 4 base runners so far against Santana. It'll be Escobar, Butera, and Mondesi. Polanco at short, and there's one down. Sprint trivia question. Wrestling with this one. The most career home runs by a player born in the state of Kansas. Not born and raised. Born here. Grew up in the San Diego area.
All right, I know it. Now that hint you just gave me there. Darrell Evans. Darn it. Sorry I cut you off again.
That's okay. Darrell Evans. What made you think of Darrell Evans?
Oh, we got a tip. Said he played for the Tigers. Just came to my mind.
He's why Darrell.
Well,
Darrell Evans grew up in San Diego.
He's a first baseman too.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I was kind of trying to put that together. Now I wanted to say Ken Berry. Oh. All right.
The other hint we received, it's somebody who has been in the news.
Okay.
Butera is down on strikes. That's 5 for Urban Santana.
Another hint was he's in the news quite often.
I just said that.
I'm sorry. Tony Clark.
McPherson, Kansas. Correct? Newton, just outside of McPherson. And the reason he is in the news is he is the director of the Major League Baseball Players Association.
Pretty cool job. First player ever to hold that position, by the way. Ex-player.
Good question. I think we just had that question. That seems familiar.
By the way, Ken Berry was one of my coaches one year in 1981 in Greensboro, North Carolina. Bob Schaefer and Ken Berry were the 2 coaches that I had. Schaefer taught me how to play second base. It's his fault.
That's 6 strikeouts for Urban Santana, and he's matched Danny Duffy so far, allowing just 1 run in 5 innings. Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be with 24 KC Metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. Classic car day at the K. Sliding catch by Alex in left field. That's his second sliding play out there today. You got Kurt Suzuki with a huge play back in the second inning, and now he robs Jorge Polanco. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Duffy to begin the top of the 6th inning.
Top spin. Read it perfectly. Sinking fast. Good glove position. How's that Trevor Turf taste?
Yummy.
And now Escobar, he has walked and singled as we welcome in Denny, as we do every Sunday. It's been a good defensive day for the Royals.
Hi, Hud.
Good to see you, Denny.
How about the defense today?
Not too bad. Got him out of a bases loaded spot, didn't it? Yeah, that was key. That had to be devastating for the Twins, didn't it? I mean, they've had their share of problems moving runners in this series, and 3 guys were still stuck on base when the inning ended, so it's tough.
Hud said after the final out was made that Paul Molitor turned around and walked down the steps of the dugout to the tunnel to find his antacid.
Yeah.
Because when you've been playing the way the Twins have this year, and he's used to a different standard because he was a Hall of Fame player, you get opportunities like that. I mean, if you're a great offense, you're lucky to get the bases loaded, nobody out against Danny Duffy these days.
Sure. Yeah, that has to be totally discouraging, but the Twins are, well, I mean, let's face it, they're having a bad year. And it's a bad team right now playing pretty bad.
That'll drop foul, and it's still 2-2 on Escobar.
Sometimes you play a bad team and they're playing good and you got your hands full. But if you're playing a bad team, playing awful, why, you better take advantage, and the Royals have.
And as we know, because we lived through many years of that, sometimes the deeper you get into the season, the harder it is, because you start to project where the numbers are going to be and exactly how bad the season is and how far you are removed from getting back into contention.
Yeah, and teams, and like you just said, we have seen it. If you're not playing well, you invent and find ways to lose, or just hand the game to the other team. And that's not pleasant. That's why, as Hud said, Molitor went down the tunnel for something for his tummy.
Denny, what area do you like the Royals the best when they're going good and all areas are going good? Do you like the frenzy style hitting that they show? Do you love the defense, the starting pitching? What do you like most about this team when they're going good?
Defense. It takes care of your pitching. It takes care of your offense, because you don't have to score 8 runs every game.
Now think about how many pitches the defense saves the starting pitcher. I mean, not just saving runs when you make a good play, but the plays that the defense has made for Danny Duffy today. I mean, that could be an inning's worth of work. This will be the 80th pitch for Danny Duffy today. And he issues his second walk, both to Eduardo Escobar.
And Denny, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Here we go. Defense. That's the play that Alex picked off the grass. This is Cuthbert's play, and these 2 plays, the reason why Minnesota did not score. And I thought the play that Alex made in left field, because Escobar was on the same track that he was, right sun. I thought Alex playing left field in the second inning was more a play of courage than it was necessarily of skill, because you have to have the courage of your convictions. I'm going to make the catch, and just hope in your heart that the shortstop doesn't collide with you. And fortunately, Escobar peeled off, but you got to go for it. There's always the chance. I was a little bit afraid, weren't you guys, when they were on the same path?
Both running as hard as they could.
Exactly.
And it helps that they've played so much together.
Sure.
Because Escobar, I'm sure, even though he can't see Alex when he goes out from shortstop, after a certain amount of steps, he has come to expect that at some point Alex is going to arrive at that spot as well.
And you know the voice. And that helps.
Rosario strikes out. And with those two big defensive plays that we just showed you back in the second inning, one of the biggest outs was Duffy's strikeout of Rosario. And now he gets him again in the 6th. Duffy has struck out 4. And here's Suzuki. It was Suzuki who hit that little bloop that Denny was just talking about on the play by Alex in the second inning. And he's also singled. 0-1.
And we were chuckling a little bit. You just referenced the strikeout of Rosario. Earlier in the game, they get the bases loaded, nobody out. They've been struggling to score in the series. And the only left-handed hitter in the lineup tonight is the guy at the plate.
Right.
So, and Molitor's got to be thinking, boy, oh boy.
Tough hop, but Cuthbert is on it. And he gets Suzuki.
Defense, Hud, defense, defense.
Denny, he just turned that ball into a marshmallow. Duffy. Tough.
The bottom of the 6th inning, which is our Sonic Slam inning. Here's a great name for the Sonic Slam inning. Terry Gash from Harrisonville. If the Royals gash one out of the park in this inning, Terry wins $2,200, but the Royals hit a grand slam, which would be a tremendous gash. Terry wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals.
Wouldn't be a great name for a golfer.
No, it would not.
Because you'd be over in the other fairway.
Top of the order, Dyson Cuthbert and Lorenzo Cain. Reminds me of one of my favorite lines. Hall of Famer Ted Williams, and I think it was Ben Hogan, the great golfer, were having a debate over whether it was harder to hit a baseball or harder to hit a golf ball. Dyson takes high, and of course Ted Williams, the obvious, you know, they're throwing 90 miles an hour with movement. You know, you're just standing over a ball that's on a tee. I mean, how hard is it to do that? To which Ben Hogan says, yeah, but I have to play my foul balls.
That's right.
And Ted had no comeback for that.
That's right. 3-1. Dyson has flied to right and struck out.
I had a chance to meet Ted Williams. In fact, I interviewed him. We talked for, I wish I had the tape of it. I don't know what happened, but we talked for about 25 minutes. You know what we talked about? Big
Let me
surprise.
guess. Hitting, maybe?
Big surprise, yeah. But 20 minutes. And I had a chance to meet him. He reminded me so much of John Wayne. Just the two of them, one reminded me of the other. I never met John Wayne, but you see enough of him on some of the old movies. But they both had that same voice, the same demeanor, the way they moved. I mean, it's amazing.
Make you want to just stand up and salute when they enter the room?
Oh, yeah.
Even if you have no idea who they are?
Ted Williams was a terrific interview. Interesting, insightful. He would say things in ways about hitting and about the game that you never heard before. And you know who else did that a little bit? It was Hal McRae. Hal McRae had his own unique way of explaining, talking about what happened in the game.
That's foul, 1-2.
But Ted was really, really fun to talk to.
And he was not a great manager. And great players, and I'm sure Paul Molitor is going through some of this right now. Great players where the game just came so much more natural to them and played at a level that very few could match. Guys like Paul Molitor, Ted Williams. Now Molitor has had some preparation before becoming manager. He was a bench coach and he worked in the Twins farm system, but Cuthbert is down on strikes, and that's 7 for Santana. But it can be a challenge for a great player, an elite player, to coach less than elite players.
They have a hard time understanding perhaps why that guy can't do what I did, or at least come close to doing that.
Because I'll bet many times in Paul Molitor's career a coach said try this, and he did it and it worked, and it probably didn't take, maybe it took a lot of reputation, but probably a lot of things came naturally to him. And for other players, no matter how much you coach them or teach them, it just doesn't come.
Yeah, but being coachable is the thing. Leave your ego alone. Put it aside and try to get better each day in baseball. That mentality, you have that, you can go a long way. Now, I'm trying to think of some of the great managers that I played for who were great players. Yogi Berra was a great player. I wouldn't say he was a Hall of Fame manager, but he managed okay. Joe Torre was an MVP. I would say anybody.
Okay, that's 2.
Yeah. Billy Martin, I wouldn't say he was a great player.
Really smart player, though, right?
Yep. And feisty, we all know that. Red Schoendienst, Hall of Famer. Red managed some.
But by and large, not just managers, but a lot of coaches at the major league level. There's a boot by Polanco at short. Kane is on with 2 outs. It's a base hit because of the hot. But just to finish the thought, I think a lot of times the good coaches are the ones that didn't have a whole lot of natural ability, and they had to learn. So their ability to learn helps them help their pupils learn.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't know how many times on Sunday I have mentioned the name Charlie Lau. That's a perfect example. I think Charlie was about a 215, 220, 225 maybe hitter. But boy, could he teach hitting. Ask George Brett, ask Al McRae, and others.
Hosmer drills it to deep center field. That's going to sail over Rosario's head. Kane to third. Relay from Polanco is cut off. Eric Hosmer gives the Royals a 2-1 lead.
6 straight games Haas has not been a state. 7th game. Now, laser liner. That's Eric Hosmer at its best. Middle of the field to opposite field. Hands inside the ball. Great head position. Track star on the bases. Seen it before.
And set up by, what were we talking about 5 minutes ago?
Defense.
Defense. You think Escobar would have made the play that Polanco did not? I would think probably.
And then the inning's over.
Inning's over.
Hosmer doesn't come up with a man on base. Yeah, we discussed this in Minnesota. It is and we're not picking on the Twins. Royals were there not that long ago, but the worst possible combination in baseball, and this will get Hosmer to third. And this is what the Twins have to deal with, and we're talking about mid to late August. The highest ERA and the most errors. Lethal combination.
Yeah. You can't run away from that.
That was Santana's 7th wild pitch of the season. So with Hosmer over there at third base, 2 outs. It's the slider, I'm sure, that's been the culprit of the wild pitches. Ball goes straight down. Suzuki's going to have to do his best. Try to keep in front of him.
He's probably going to go to that pitch again to get Morales. And Morales strikes out. So it was ruled a hit, but a misplay for sure. This extended the inning. Kane reaches, and then Hosmer doubles to center field, and the Royals are back on top.
One as they look for the sweep, and it takes us around the league. Cleveland right now is leading Toronto. Jose Ramirez taking care of business. Detroit doubling up Boston, Oakland, and Chicago. And Miami, where the Royals will be heading to next. They're going to be heading home too, as they are leading at Pittsburgh. Our premier Mazda game break. The other one we told you about, Melvin Upton. How about his brother Justin? And Ryan mentioned that Justin had homered for Detroit. He has homered twice today, so a nice afternoon for the Uptons, but it is Melvin's Blue Jays that have a little work to do against Cleveland, and interesting to see that the Blue Jays optioned Aaron Sanchez today.
Wow. When Aaron Sanchez pitched here at Kauffman Stadium, he led the league in ERA. Thank you, Joel. Danny Santana leads off against Danny Duffy, who's given up 1 run, 7 hits. 1 and 2 on Santana. He has grounded to Cuthbert and he has struck out. Duffy has walked 2 and struck out 4. Into right field, Kane right there. So give some credit to Rusty Kuntz. And the scouting report on Santana, he had Kane in the right spot. Vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the KC metro area. All participants will be registered to win a Majestic prize pack. One down to Brian Dozier, who is 0 for 3. Dozier lost a 10-game hitting streak last night, going 0 for 4. He has still hit in 26 of his last 28 games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Duffy's 92nd pitch, and Dozier rips it to left field. That is 8 hits for the Minnesota Twins. 5 singles. But 8 hits is the most allowed by Danny Duffy this year.
Hi, Rye. We're back.
Bill Self was nice enough to come by the booth and say hello. So you got a little chance to visit with him, and so did Hud. Did you get him to sign the wall, Hud?
Absolutely.
All right.
Greg Gurley too was up here. I had to have Greg sign.
Brian Haney was up here. Peter Moylan warms up in the Royals bullpen.
I asked Bill over on radio about his off season. This is it. 3 weeks. He has 3 weeks of what he calls his off season. He's going to go to Carolina to play golf, he said, on Wednesday. So.
And then one of his so-called off days, he comes to the ballpark, a beautiful day, Royals game. He's a baseball fan. Of course, everybody wants a piece of him. So I don't know how much of the game he's been able to just sit and enjoy, but
good point.
Gracious enough. Just like the Nebraska coaching staff and the MU coaching staff and the K-State coaching staff and the Wichita State coaching staff when they come here on a university day.
Coach Self, he had a couple things to tell me or to ask me. He asked me how Cade was doing, because Cade and a special needs group went to KU for a basketball clinic one day, and Cade went and met Coach Self, got pictures with him, and he asked me, hey, how's Cade doing? And he remembered my son. That's pretty cool. And then he told me that I need to work on finding some more energy somewhere.
Well, he'd have the answer if anybody would.
Yeah, he might. Try deep breathing, he says. I said, okay, I'll try it. My partner says the same thing, especially in the first inning. I'm always a little bit wound up in the first innings. Calm down.
Well, I got a tip for you if you want.
I absolutely need one from you.
I want to listen to this tip as well.
9 o'clock in the morning, go for a walk, come back, and have some cornflakes.
With sugar on it?
It's up to you. That's your option.
Is that your daily routine?
Well, a lot. Try it.
All right.
You'll like it.
9 o'clock after night games, a little bit early for me, Denny.
Just trying to help.
Okay, thank you.
11 consecutive starts for Duffy, taking the game into the 7th. Peter Moylan is a Chevy call to the bullpen. Well, this has become commonplace at Kauffman Stadium. Danny Duffy leaving the mound to a standing ovation. 6 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 1 run. He is responsible for Dozier at first base. And now he'll spend the rest of the inning cheering on Peter Moylan.
I'm going to say that Danny Duffy is lava hot.
Peter Moylan against Miguel Sano. No balls, 1 strike. Now, you see 95 pitches for Duffy and you think, okay, maybe he's got a few more in him, but the dugout, Ned Yost and Dave Island, they're not only paying attention to pitch count, they're looking at the effectiveness of his stuff. And now you got a guy who can hit a home run in Sano, who's down in the count 0-2. And so often Ned Yost will say, when he feels like his pitcher is near the end of the line, he does not want to put that pitcher in a position to lose the game. And Sano represents the go-ahead run.
And how many times has Sano seen a right-hander with this release point? And he strikes out a lot.
Sinker slider.
And he tops it to short. Escobar has to hurry, and he got him. Sano points back to the Minnesota dugout. He thought he was safe. So the Twins may take a look at it, or maybe not. Good to see you, Denny.
Denny,
Thanks, Ryan.
thanks for the tip. I'll try it.
All right, Hud.
Thank you.
Try it. You'll like it.
Alex Gordon will lead off the bottom of the 7th. Royals lead 2-1. Years, and it will be their first trip to new-ish Marlins Park. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. Giordano Ventura, Dylan G, and Edinson Volquez will pitch for the Royals. They will not see Giancarlo Stanton out for the season with a left groin strain. Our University of Kansas hospital injury report. That's 3 consecutive years that his season has been cut short. 2 years ago, remember that frightening play when he was hit in the face by Mike Fiers, and then broke his hand last year. And now in the middle of August, done for the year, and that coming with the Marlins in contention. Marlins have now fallen to 9.5 back in the East. Urban Santana has held the Royals to 2 runs on 5 hits. The Royals got a single run in the 2nd and in the 6th.
It's all it takes sometimes when you get good starting pitching, and of course the Royals bullpen, we all know. Now 3rd inning, here it comes now. Plouffe again. Drops a sinking liner in front of Dyson. Scores Grossman. Now this was nice. Haas got full extension. Pumped that ball out there, short hop the wall, scored Lorenzo from first base with no problem. Look at that slide. I like that slide. As he slid, I'm sure he didn't intentionally look in the Twins dugout, but he was looking that way, and Royals have quite a swagger going right now. Looking for their 8th straight win.
Last time the Royals accomplished that was almost exactly 2 years ago. The Royals had an 8-game winning streak in early August of 2014.
And since the Rally Mantis showed up, they're 12-2.
The first Rally Mantis.
Right.
Escobar with the shift, he throws low, and Plouffe with a no-look dig. And Alex is 0 for 3. If you can't watch the games on TV, you can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in and stream the Royals wherever you go.
And since the slimmer, sleeker Mantis showed up in Detroit, the Royals are undefeated.
Ball one to Escobar. He is grounded to short twice. One of those produced a run. And that'll be out of play. Biggest crowd of the series is here today. $30,000 on Thursday, 28,000 Friday, 29,000 last night. One and two on Escobar. Way outside, and for Santana, that is 9 strikeouts, most of which have come on his slider. Calling all Yogis. The Royals are excited to host our 2nd annual Yogis in the outfield. Sunday, September 4th, prior to the game, join yoga instructors Steve and Stacy Physiak. No, yoga instructors from Core Movements for an early morning 1-hour yoga session on the outfield grass with a Royals mat followed by a light breakfast. To participate in this unique event, purchase your theme ticket at royals.com/theme tickets. Was Fizz the one that got you into yoga or vice versa?
Yes, but it took him 10 years of prodding. 10 years to say, you know, kept bugging me. Why don't you come to class with me? I said, Fizz, I just got through working out for 21 years. Cut me some slack. And the Joey got fat. I got a little bit chubby. Started looking at myself in the mirror going, whoa, self, you better do something and do something quick. So I went in there, started stretching a little bit. In that hot yoga, you sweat. And I lost 20 pounds in a matter of weeks. Two weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And I loved it. Been doing it ever since.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go just about every day on the road.
On the road? Yeah, I don't have any family there. I'm OP, own program. I love it. Wake up, get a little routine. Go, sweat a little bit, stretch. Be fresh and ready to.
I hope Jennifer's not watching today.
Why?
OP on the road, love it. Own program.
Well,
yeah, you got to tamp that down a little bit.
There was, you know, I had plenty of time for that type of OP earlier in my career.
No, I'm not talking about that.
No.
For instance, my first year of marriage, I made the mistake. Sarah was having a rough day at home, and I'm on the road, and I said, can I call you back in an hour? And she said, why? And I made this mistake once. Because I'm about to get a massage.
Oh, no.
Oops. So I'm just saying, I'm not suggesting that kind of OP.
No,
I'm talking about we don't want to make the road sound so free and do whatever we want because it's so great, right? I mean, we gotta.
Yeah. Well, bring Sarah on the road more with you if you can. I know you got a lot at home, a lot of kids there, and it's tough to get her on the road. But for 7 years, before we had kids, I took Jennifer every city we went to. I wanted her to see what the big league life was like. And we had fun and we bonded our relationship. And so she knows. So every year, 3 weeks before the season's over, she always reminds me, your little fantasy world's about over. Okay, we have schedules. We have schedules here. We have dinners. We have school. We have homework. We have all kinds of stuff. So look, just prepare for that. Look at Gladman,
who wears his glove all the time. Former Twins outfielder, radio broadcaster.
Basket catch down low.
With some interference. Strike 3 called. Santana has struck out 10. But at the end of 7, he and the Twins trail 2-1. And there you have it, in front of 32,996. 2-1 Royals into the back end of the bullpen, and 6 outs away on defense from sweeping a 4-game series from Minnesota. Joakim Soria is a Chevy call to the bullpen. He'll get Minnesota's 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Breaking ball inside to Trevor Plouffe, who had 2 doubles against Danny Duffy and drove in the Minnesota run.
4-pitch mix, 5 if you include a split finger. But he calls that a split change, really. That's what he told me the other day. But he's got fastball. He'll reach 95 miles an hour with it. I think he's a little bit better with it in the low 90s. Allows a little bit more movement. And he has a little bit better command. Slider curve. Sometimes he'll lob the curve up there. Just a little slow pitch, throw the timing off of the hitter.
A little harder breaking ball there. Soria was one of the 6 relievers in that long game on Friday night, pitching a scoreless 8th and had 2 strikeouts. Butera held it out there for home plate umpire Bill Miller to get a long look. Full count. Soria has retired 12 straight hitters, trying to make it 13 with the count 3-2 on Plouffe. And we'll do it again.
Plouffe's hot, swinging a good bat. He feels good up there. You can tell by the rips. Make sure you keep it out of the middle, especially in this count. Fastball count, we'll see.
Jammed him. Popped up.
Tester.
Cuthbert comes down from third. One away. Coming up on September 18th, join your fellow Star Wars fans for Star Wars Day at the K. You can dress up as your favorite Star Wars character and enjoy Star Wars themed entertainment. I assume it's family friendly. Make sure to purchase the theme ticket package to recruit an exclusive Eric Hosmer X-Wing pilot bobblehead. Tickets at royals.com/theme tickets. Right?
That's easy for you
It's
to
like
say.
Zombies Night.
That's right.
Family friendly Star Wars night.
Yeah, but I like the creativity of the bobbleheads, especially with the Salvi Gatorade bucket with the ice in it. You know, they're really taking those bobbleheads to a different level.
1-1 on Jorge Polanco. He is 1 for 3. That was as a right-hand batter. Royals are 14-5 in August and have the second best ERA in the major leagues in August, and they've held Minnesota to 1 run today. And remember, even though we haven't seen much of it in this series, the Minnesota Twins have scored the most runs per game in the major leagues since early July, and they scored only 6 runs so far in this series. 2-2 on Polanco.
Split finger, now super slow motion. You can tell the difference in the speed, in the spin on the ball, but the hitter can't. And that's what makes that pitch so good. It looks like a fastball, but it dips down. It has some sinking action. Don't want to use it too much because you make mistakes with it and leave it up. It goes a long way. Soria has found that out.
Jam badly. Mondesi goes out. He was fighting the sun. 2 outs.
Ooh, yeah. Now it's a good thing he made that catch, because if you're a young player and you lose a ball in the sun with no sunglasses, oh, you could be up for some scrutiny. Look at that. Good job. Feathered it. He didn't even see it. He just put his glove in the right spot and hoped it'd land there. Nice play. Soft hands.
Butera got hit on the mask with the follow through of Polanco's swing. Here's Eduardo Escobar. He's been on 3 times. Soria is in with strike 1. Escobar has walked twice and singled. Stroke to center field, and it stays up for Dyson. Joakim Soria has retired 15 consecutive batters. To the bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Royals.
10 to win.
Is brought to you by Dodge. Check in with the Dodge Summer Clearance event. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefebvre, Rex Hudler with Joel Goldberg. Director Steve Kurtenbach. Producer Brian Shapiro. Associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, and Dave Holtzman. Brandon Kinsler will pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. Strike one to Raul Mondesi. So we were telling you about Ervin Santana and his lack of run support. Ervin Santana today pitched 7 innings. He gave up 2 runs and he struck out 10. And the best he can hope for today is a no decision, as his offense supported him with 1 run. They were up against Danny Duffy. Duffy gave up 1 run in 6 2/3 innings. Peter Moylan got the final out of the 7th, and Joakim Soria pitched a perfect 8th. Bunted and foul, 1-2.
Well, we knew before this game started, if Duffy and Santana were on top of their games, it would be minimal scoring. We were right.
Royals bullpen now has a streak of 28 consecutive scoreless innings, and back to having the best bullpen ERA in the American League. Inside to Mondesi, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mondesi was victimized by Ervin Santana twice. He was 2 of Santana's 10 strikeouts. Kinsler gets him with a slider. Cement your memories forever with a championship legacy brick. Create a personalized message that includes the 2015 World Series Champions logo. Your brick will then be installed in the ground outside of the stadium gates. A portion of the proceeds of the brick program go back to support Royals charities. Place your order early as space is limited. Royals.com/bricks. And we see a bunch of those walking into the stadium every day. The main entrance to Kauffman Stadium. Jarrod Dyson is 0 for 3. 2-0. Kelvin Herrera is getting ready for the lower third of the order. Rosario, Suzuki, and Santana. Paul Molitor does have Joe Mauer and Max Kepler on his bench. Left-hand batters with power occasionally. 2-1. Two hops to Plouffe. Brandon Kinsler, once a 40th round draft pick, and was released by the Padres, and then he played 3 seasons of independent baseball in the Northern League for Winnipeg and St. Paul, and then signed by the Brewers in 2009, 5 years after he was taken in the 40th round by San Diego, and now a big league pitcher, Brandon Kintzler. Chop foul by Cuthbert. Chesler is 0 for 3 today.
Kintzler's got good stuff. Good fastball, nice slider. Tell you, the reliever out of the 4-game series we've seen, and we saw a lot of relieving, especially in that first game, that long game. What was it? Was that the first game that all that rain came? Second game is Chargois.
JT Chargois.
JT Chargois impressed me. I like him. He's got really hard stuff. Hard sinker, tight slider, good changeup.
Cuthbert backhanded by Plouffe to Kintzler, and that'll do it. So 9th inning. Kelvin Herrera comes out of the Royals bullpen. The Royals lead is 1, 3 outs away from a sweep. Thanks to our Jeep drive of the game. Eric Hosmer with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Timely. I mean to tell you, that's all Danny Duffy needed. 23rd double on the season for Haas. Only Salvi Perez has more. He has 24.
And it's his 27th go-ahead RBI, which ties him with Albert Pujols for the most in the American League. Pujols has more than 20 overall RBIs than Hosmer, but as far as go-ahead RBIs, they are tied. Kelvin Herrera will get Eddie Rosario, Kurt Suzuki, and Danny Santana. Those are the scheduled hitters for Minnesota. Fastball for a strike to Rosario. He struck out twice against Duffy in his 0 for 3. 32 career games for Herrera against Minnesota, and he has a 1.2 ERA. 0-2.
Herrera is a stuff guy. That's what you'd say. He's got powerful stuff. Mid to upper 90s. Change up with an 88-mile-an-hour touch to it. Big difference in changes of speed there. And a slider that he's using consistently this season. It's a very complementary pitch to the other two.
3 pitches, 1 away. And now Kurt Suzuki has been called back to the Minnesota dugout. And Paul Molitor is going to call on Joe Mauer.
Mauer 1 for 3 this season as a pinch hitter with an RBI. Overall,
Tough job, he'll tell you. If you hit 250 as a pinch hitter, that's good. Anything over that, really good.
Strike to Mauer, who is hitless in this series. 0 for 11. He has reached with a walk, and the Royals have struck him out 4 times. He has 5 at bats against Herrera. Changeup, and it's 0-2.
Beautiful location. Change of speed's enough, but when you're locating it right there, and you're a pinch hitter because you want to be aggressive and swing, can't hit it. When Suzuki walked off the on-deck circle and Mauer came up, Suzuki patted Mauer on the back. That's a good attitude.
Mondesi to the hole. 2 down, and now we'll get another pinch hitter. Haven't heard that one before.
I like that one. Hip hip Herrera. El Toro, I like to call him, and he loves that too, by the way. That's just a bull. That's a strong bull, and he is. That right arm of his is incredible. Shoulder. Strength. Says that's inherited from his grandfather down to his father and to him. Blessed to have an arm like that.
Kepler is 1 out of 9 in this series. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
They're well over 30,000 here. Wishing the Royals good on the road. They got the brooms out. They got the mantis. They got everything they need to get back into this race, and they're doing it. Sure helps when you have a home crowd like this, so the Royals really play exceptional ball here at the K. Love it. 39-21. Looking for their 40th home win.
3-1 on Kepler with Dozier, Minnesota's biggest home run threat, on deck. Popped up. Dyson comes up in center field, and it's a 4-game sweep. And the Royals, for the first time in 2 seasons, have won 8 in a row. They have won 11 of their last 12. They have won 13 of their last 15. And the Royals are 4 games over 500 for the first time since the 4th of July.
Fellas, you just earned a holiday. Take tomorrow off. Great body of work. Haas with the game-winning RBI. Danny Duffy continues to be lava hot. Super defense. No question defense won this game today.
And then the bullpen. And the bullpen now has 29 consecutive scoreless innings.
All elements working, and that's what managers love. When you get all 3, pitching, defense, and timely hits together at the same time, that's a Ned Yost delight.
Game was tied at 1. Well, first let's go to Hosmer in the 2nd inning. Hosmer single to left. Alcides Escobar got him home with a ground ball. Minnesota tied the game in the 3rd. And then Hosmer in the 6th with 2 outs and Kane at first base. And for Eric Hosmer, that RBI right there gives him 27 go-ahead RBIs. That ties him for the American League lead.
Clutch.
And he is down on the field with Joel.
We got two H's here, Herrera and Hosmer, and a Salvi splash that was a sneak attack a little earlier than expected. Kelvin gets the save. Eric has the big RBI. Let's talk about this weekend and just the role that the team is on right now against a great pitcher, yet you still found a way.
Yeah, it's that time of the year to turn it on again. You know, we got to do whatever we can to win ball games, and we found a way to win tonight.
Now, Irvin Santana, just like Danny Duffy has been dealing, but you guys know, with Duffy on the hill, just score a couple of runs, and then how about what the bullpen's doing?
Yeah, they did a great job of saving Duff's game. You know, with the pitching matchup today, it was going to be low scoring, so we try to do whatever we can, scratch some runs across, get Duffy a lead, and let him hand that lead off to the bullpen.
Last thing, defense, just talk about the importance of it all over. It's really been your guys' MO for so long.
Yeah, that's our strengths as a team. You know, I think when the pitchers are out there firing strikes, trusting their defense, that's when we make the nice plays, that's when we get good outings, and that's when we're playing our best ball.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. We'll bring in here the guy that got the save today, Kelvin Herrera. You make it look easy. I know it's not. But Kelvin, can you talk about the job the bullpen is doing right now without Hochevar, without Davis, and still getting the job done?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of good group of guys on the bullpen, and we're just trying to do our job. I mean, trying to help the team to win, because we know we got a pretty good offense too.
When the injuries happened at first, maybe there was some adjustment, but now you see you closing and Moylan coming in and Soria pitching really well. How much of an adjustment was there for guys just to get used to new roles?
Oh, I mean, there's with Hodge going down, and we got a couple more guys hurt. We just trying to get ready every day.
All right, and you're an all-star. You've been in these situations, but now when you come in the ninth, is it just like the 7th or the 8th inning? Any nerves, or just normal for you?
I mean, just a little bit nervous, but that goes away with the first pitch.
Great job, another save and a win for the Royals. Thanks, Kelvin.
Thank you.
All right, crowd liking it. That is the all-star, Kelvin Herrera, getting the job done. And hey, why not give him a little Salvi splash today?
That might be his first, and he wasn't ready for it, but he got one. His 7th save in the Royals' 2-1 victory over Minnesota. A 4-game sweep. We'll be right back.